Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection video or beer dissection series videos coming up. Recently at a Lidl, I picked up the 12 Beers of Christmas pack, which I'm sure I'm pop over my face, over my shoulder here. 12 beers from Kalia, I believe, puts it together. I think they also had put together a Costco pack. Got a lot of mixed reviews from looking at other videos, so I figured I'd try it myself. Last year I picked up a pack. I had a friend over, I just gave him the 12 pack to take home with him, thought I'd pick up my own, never actually drank it. So this year it came up again, my wife saw in the store, she said, let me pick it up for him, knowing that I'm a beer lover, I do this channel. So I'm actually filming this intro at the end of me doing all the videos or the beer videos. So at the end of this little intro video, there'll either be one of two things. Either some of the videos I review in a faster format, anywhere from 3 minutes to 7 minutes, back bookended on each other. And then a couple of beers I'm just gonna talk about. And I'll have the pictures pop over, but I'm not really gonna have the beer in front of me tasting it like I do my regular beer dissection. I have to say, in this 12 pack, again, just to make sure you understand where I'm coming from, is that in German, this is from Germany and Austria, Kalia, I may be mispronouncing them. They pick up beers or they contract beers from microbreweries or the equivalent of microbreweries in Germany. So they're not the big boys. They're not Spaten, Hofbrauhaus, Heckerschor, Warsteiner, things like that. They're like the version of microbreweries in Germany and Austria. And they compile this pack, which again, I'm sure the picture's been over my shoulder already, if not in front of my face. And there's a lot of Helles in there. There's Weiss beer, I think there was a Munich Dunkel, there was Schwartz beer. So how I'm doing this, I was hemming and hawing how I was going to put this video together. At the end of this little intro, even though I'm filming this particular part at the very end of doing most of the beers, I couldn't do all 12. I'm going to start putting the videos up. So if you want to fast forward through certain sections, watch all of it, that's great. So some of it's going to be actual video of me doing a faster beer dissection, and then some of them are I'm going to be sitting there talking about a few with a few pictures that I happen to have, and I not really sat down with the actual video and reviewed it like I do my regular beer dissection. But like I said, this pack, and this is why I'm doing it this way, was pretty good. There was one or two that were oxidized. If you don't watch through the entire segment of this whole entire video, there was one or two that were oxidized. But all in all, they were all kind of average, C plus B range beer. So I don't know what my wife paid for the 12 pack, but it really wasn't as bad as some of the reviews I was getting or watching other videos of people doing, the advent calendar of beers. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to put the big, German big boys out of business. They're not the best Munich Helleses. They're not the best German Weiss beers or Schwartz beers, or there's even a Rock beer in there, Rock beer, smoke beer in this pack. They're not the best of all the brands, but I got to say, I think for the investment in 16, 20-ounce cans, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So I'm going to end this section of the video. Stay tuned if you'd like to see some of the videos that I did put together that were more 3 to 7 minute videos. And a couple of them are just me talking about the beer for just like a minute or two with a picture of the beer, just so you have an understanding. But overall, I recommend the pack for yourself, just to see what you think about it. But again, they weren't stellar A+ beers, but I wasn't expecting that anyway. My expectations were a lot lower for this pack. So anyway, thanks for listening. Stay tuned if you want to see the videos popping up. Until that time, you don't want until you see me maybe on one of my regular beer videos, my What Is Style or my beer dissection videos. All right, guys, stay tuned for the first video coming up. Take care. Hey guys, you probably just saw the intro to my compilation beer dissection that I'm doing from a pack from Kalia from Germany, Austria. It's one of those 12 Days of Christmas packs that this is going to be the first beer. depending on what part that you are watching, which you just saw either at the beginning of the intro or right after the intro, will tell you how many, probably give you an idea how many beers we're going to be doing. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to adjust. I had some lighting issues there. All right, so you're, like I say, you're just watching the beginning of the introduction of the Kalia 12 Days of Christmas beer. Again, out of Germany and Austria. I won't repeat that there. So again, either you're going to be watching one video here or up to 3 videos, depending on how I piggyback them, okay? So the one I have for today, the first one, is a Bamberg original. Bamberg, Germany's in Franconia region of Germany. They are known for Schlenkerla and Spezial. And the reason I'm bringing this up is this is one of the rock beers or smoke beers from that pack. Okay, so, and again, from Bamberg, Germany. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the brewery there. I'll probably have a picture of it over my shoulder. I'll show it to you really close up there. But remember, smoke beer, they usually smoke the malt during the kilning process with beechwood. All right, and that's what gives you that. So we'll see. I've had some of the big boys from Schlenkerla, Spezial, and a bunch of other ones. I don't know how this one's going to fare. The best drink by is actually got several months from now. So it's got to be reasonably fresh for an import at 5.3, which is pretty sessionable. And that's it. They got a crazy little monk guy on the front of the cover. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so again, on this compilation, I'm probably going to be doing these videos a little bit quicker than my normal dissection. So I'm expecting, well, hopefully 3 to 5 minutes, but knowing me, it'll probably be like 7 minutes. Okay. Now, if you ever had Schlenkerla, they make a rock beer, Helles, a light, which means light. They make a Märzen, they make a Doppelbock. So you're expecting a lot of smoke character. So I only poured a little bit out here. So actually pretty nice white, you know, to actually off-white to actually tan head, not white. What am I looking at here? About an inch, pretty well supportive. You're getting a little bit of slight meringuing, almost like crema from espresso on the top, which actually looks pretty good. Okay. Color-wise, you're looking at kind of a dark brown. It is still kind of clear. At the bottom, I can see some, you know, ruby hues, so we can see through this beer. So don't be thrown off by the color of it. So I don't know if they're trying to do a rock beer like a Doppelbock version, but it's definitely darker than a Märzen style. So that's it. So anyway, let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, without a doubt, there's that smoke. Okay, so again, usually it's beechwood. Okay, which I was, you know, I always get, you know, curious about these stores, like whether it's Lidl, Costco has done these before. They've gotten mixed reviews when I've looked online, but this one definitely has, you know, so my expectations are a little bit lower, you know, if you're going to compare things to Schlenkerla or Spezial. But without a doubt, you get some nice smokiness there. Okay, so you definitely know that you're about to drink a rock beer. Okay, some caramel toffee, nut on the other malt profile. Maybe slightly herbal because again, this is Germany, so they're probably using some German noble hops. But hop character is not going to be a showcase in this type of beer. I wouldn't expect it. All right, but again, let's take a look at the color again. I'll probably have a picture over my shoulder after the video. All right, guys. So cheers. Yeah. It's definitely a rock beer. Nice pungent smoke to it, character, which you would expect even, like if I wasn't looking at the can, you probably were thinking of like a Schlenkerla or a Märzen Spezial, because there is some definitely pronounced smokiness here. Low bitterness. There's also on the malt, you got like brioche biscuits, you know, toasted, even challah bread, kind of crusty Maillard reaction type of, so good malt backbone to this beer. Obviously, it's not a Helles because they do make rock beer in a Helles or a light beer. That would almost look like a Pilsner beer. the alcohol strength is too low on this to be a Doppelbock. So I'm always just trying to figure out what this microbrewery was trying to do. It said low bitterness. And the aftertaste, you have the malt, toffee, nut, toast, but pretty good, guys. Again, especially for beer you can't find other than in this pack, this seasonal packages that you see, which again is probably over my shoulder. You can't just buy one can of these things. So again, I'm going to keep this shorter than my typical beer dissections. This one from that pack, it actually looks like Klosterbräu, which is, I'm sure, the name of from Bamberg. A nice rendition of smoked beer. I can't say it's as good as Schlenkerla and Special and some of the other ones over there, but if you have this pack and you like rock beer, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. And again, I think the malt on it, I guess I gotta have to say it is probably more like a it's almost like you're using like a brown ale or a lower alcoholic strength Doppelbock crossed with a Märzen style, because there is enough maltiness to it, but you can see the color. It has a little bit more to it than just a strict Helles or Märzen style. So anyway, guys, grade wise, listen, I have to give it a good B plus. Again, for overall drinkability, I'd go higher, like A-, versus say your Schlenkerla. I'd have to bring the grade down a little bit, maybe to a B-, but definitely in this pack, this is actually the first one I'm reviewing. Depending on when you're watching this, I'm actually quite impressed by it. All right. So anyway, guys, till the next version of this 12 Beers for Christmas video, this is one of the parts. Could be part 1 or part 2, and either there's a video coming up at the end of this, or look out for the other video to piggyback this. All right. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, the next beer from the Biers from Cheers, from Lidl, from Kalea Beverage. So I'm going to get right into it. This one is their Tannin Hell lager beer. So I'm assuming it's a Helles. Remember, Helles means light. This one's coming in at 5% alcohol, which is, pretty good. Again, watch the introduction earlier if you want a little more explanation on why I'm doing this. So let's get right into it. Let's see what this one's all about. Okay, so the Tannenheld from the pack. All right, so let's pour this out. And as I pour, remember, I'm going to be breaking this into 1 to 3 videos probably. Let's take a look at this. White, about inch head, pretty nice froth, kind of like that, meringue-like top on, on top of the beer here. Perfectly, medium gold, pretty clear, pretty nice looking. Let's take a sniff of the aroma, get right into it. Yeah, so it's kind of got, there's a faint, herbal, floral character to the aroma. I guess pretty standard to Helles, but it's just not very, the bouquet on it isn't very good. The aromatics are pretty subdued. Okay, but anyway, cheers, guys. Let's taste this one and see what it's all about. Ooh. You got strong, pretty highly carbonated, but to be honest with you guys, you got like that cereal grain, Pilsner sweetness to the malt, which is good. But I'm getting some papery component. I think this is oxidized, this beer. If I look at the color too, it is more gold. This beer is usually straw to maybe light gold to Helles. So I wouldn't criticize it sheerly on the color, but because I just tasted it, and you got, Trans-2-nonenal is the papery component that sometimes we'll get with oxidized beer. This one says expiration of, God, I can't even tell what this is, all muddled at the bottom. This one's not too good, guys. This is, it's cold, it's carbonated. You got some sweet malt there, and there is some slight herbal, but you're getting that even on the aftertaste. I'm getting that papery kind of component to it. So grade wise, I got to give this C-, D+, compared to most Helles, even lower. Cold, highly carbonated. It's got some malt, you definitely get that crackery malt profile, Pilsner sweet malt to it, and some herbal character to it on the hops, and floral character on the aromatics. Low bitterness, but I think because I just can't see past the oxidized state of it. So again, I'm trying to grade these beers from this pack and what you'd get, and I'm sure them being shipped over 4 months, if not longer, a lot longer possibly, from microbreweries. This one's definitely got a papery note to it. Wow. Yeah. It's like a tannin bite, paper, wet cardboard, things like that. So, listen, if you had this after about 3 or 4 beers and your taste buds were down, you'd probably enjoy it. But I have to do a hard pass on this one, which is the Tannenhell lager beer. Okay. I thought maybe it was a little better than I thought, but then even I probably should have picked up on the color here being slightly darker. But sometimes a German Helles will range from being like kind of a medium straw to a medium gold color. And what I would think is straw, someone else may think is gold, and vice versa. But it's the papery component to this one. So this one's definitely oxidized. Maybe if I drank it over in Germany, it'd be better. But other than that, guys, right after this, we'll move on to the next beer. All right, from this beer, 12 Days of Christmas, or 12 Beers of Christmas from Lidl. Thanks. See you guys soon. Hey guys, next video up for the Beers for Cheers from Lidl 12-pack. What I have right now is a Dunkelweiss from, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, maybe I will, Alte Lieb. Okay, this is their compilation pack. Remember, this is going to be a shorter version, I should say a quicker version, as well as I may not do all the beers. There are 12 beers in there, but just to kind of give you an idea about this variety pack. So remember, Dunkelweiss means, Dunkel means dark, Weiss means wheat. So I'm assuming this is going to be kind of like a dark Hefeweizen, right? If you watch any of my videos, I've discussed that. This is Weisserbracher. The beers have been kind of mixed so far. This is coming in at 5.2% alcohol. And that's it. I want to get right into it. And again, I'm editing this. So it's, these can be like back to back to back. Fast forward if you need to, or rewind depending on how you do it. So let's crack this open and see what we're talking about here. So Dunkelweiss, I'm expecting this to be a darker wheat beer, which as I'm pouring it, it does look that way. Okay. They sometimes will use some Munich malt and or Vienna malt in there to create the darker malt or the more rich malt profile to it. But it is a Dunkelweiss, so we're expecting to get that clove and that banana character. Let's take a look at it. Actually looks quite nice, the head. About, 2 inches of a, white to off-white head. Looks pretty well sustaining itself. It's pretty frothy on top, almost kind of that meringue-like look, which I'm actually quite impressed looking at this. The color is, brown, lightish to medium brown color. I can kind of see through the bottom, but I'm assuming It's not going to be very clear because it is wheat. Remember, wheat has a lot more protein to it. It will create the cloudiness as well as some of the yeast in this particular style of beer. But looks pretty nice, okay? Again, this is from Lidl and from that 12 Beers of Christmas. I've been reviewing them depending on how you're watching this video. Some have been pretty good. Some have been not so good. So let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting that overripe banana, slight clove, and again, that's coming from the yeast. But it smells pretty good. I mean, I've had a lot of Dunkelweisens in my past. But I got to say, it's really not. I don't have a lot of expectations on this pack because a lot of people were poo-pooing it because it's kind of like, I think, one of the companies that does the advent calendar. But there's definitely some light caramel, toast on the nose, even like baked bread, stuff like that. And but without a doubt, from the Hefeweizen yeast strain, you are getting nice ripe banana, okay, which is the isoamyl acetate, and for vinyl guaiacol, which is the clove character, and you're getting it in here. All right. So anyway, let's just get right into it. Told you these will be a lot shorter versions of the video. I should say Prost. Pretty highly carbonated, low bitterness. I get like a little nutty caramel on the flavor. The banana and the clove is a little more subdued on the palate. But in the aftertaste, I'm getting like this nutty caramel brioche type of malt character to it, which is actually quite nice. The mouth feels a little thin. I usually like, with the copious amounts of wheat used in these beers, actually in Germany. Remember, these are coming from microbreweries from Germany that were subcontracted through this company. I forget the name of it right now. It begins with a K, I believe. But it's a little thin. I usually like a little more billowy, bready kind of mouthfeel wheat, because there is a lot of wheat being used in there. But I gotta say, even though on the taste it's not holding up, the banana clove is really strong. It's a little thin. I'm not getting any oxidized flavors. One of the other beers I had was a Helles, had some oxidized flavors. I think I'm just going to probably post it right before this video. I gotta say, this is actually quite holding up pretty nice. No astringency, no alcoholic warmth. Again, not at 5%. You wouldn't expect that. Pretty smooth. So anyway, guys, on this beer, I'm going to bring I'm going to say like a B-. This is the Dunkelweiss dark wheat beer, which again is using that yeast strain. So if you're getting clove banana and you're buying it from Lidl, don't stick your nose up at it and go, oh, there's something wrong with this beer. It's actually drinking very close to very good Dunkelweiss. And I'm not going to say it's going to compete with some of the big boys in Germany, but this is actually drinking pretty nice. So it's dark wheat. Okay, so it should look like this. All right. My only criticism to it is a little thin. And I think it could probably be a little bolder with the clove and the banana character. I don't really know what fermentation temperatures they're holding it at, but there is enough though. And I'm sure they're using some Munich malt. You're getting that little bit of like caramel nuttiness, hollow bread, brioche, kind of, darker toast type of flavors. Really good, but I'm not perceiving anything as far as any off flavor notes on this. Like I said, I'm going to give it I'll just say a B-. It's not going to hold up to some of the big guys in Germany, like I said, but part of this 12 pack. This is one of the better ones. I've reviewed roughly 3. Depending on how I'm editing this, you may be seeing the 3rd video right now. I definitely got to say it's definitely above average. Even better than some of my local places here on Long Island try to do Dunkelweizen. Sometimes this is right there with it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this video. Stay tuned for the next one, which I may piggyback on here, or this may just be part of a several-part series for this Biers 12 Beers of Christmas, or from Lidl, the big 12 pack, which I may have pop over my face again. All right, guys. But I recommend it. This is a winner in the group. But again, if you're not familiar with Dunkelweizen or just Hefeweizen beer in general, you may not know what you're expecting. But this dark color, dark malt character like caramel, brioche and stuff is normal, as well as the clove and the banana character on the nose. But again, it could have been a little stronger there and not as thin. But anyway, guys, till the next, probably video for this pack. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, moving on to the next beer in the Lidl Beer for Cheers. Actually, it's a Christmas, 12 Beers of Christmas, sorry. Kalia, rewind to the intro if you haven't seen it already. This one is Jamoschier. I should just give up trying to pronounce it. I'll probably have it over my shoulder. This is a Weizerbach, which means it's a wheat Bach, and it's at 7.1%. Again, remember, these are microbrewed beers in Germany and or Austria. Remember, Bach beer, Bach means goat. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Go through my what is style or beer dissection. Look for the Bach. I explain about the whole history of this. But let's just crack this bad boy open and take a look at it. It's at 7.1%, so it is pretty hefty. It is part of that compilation pack, which if you've been watching this video. So again, remember, I tried to promise that I was going to keep all these videos in this compilation very short. I think my longest one's been 6 or 7 minutes, other than my 10 to 15 minute one. So let's crack this bad boy open and take a look at it, all right? So remember, Bach in Germany needs to be around 6% alcohol at least. Doppelbock's got to be in like the 7% range, and that is legal for Germany at least. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so nice 1/2-inch head. You got a dark straw to pale gold color, pretty hazy. Now, does this say I want to make sure it doesn't say it's unfiltered, because that could lead to the additional haziness that's occurring. It does not say that, but nice, pale gold. Almost looks like an American IPA or a hazy, juicy IPA with the haziness in there. But again, these days I don't judge beers on strict color and haziness unless it's not true for the style. But for this compilation pack, it's been hit and miss a little bit on the beers have been good or not, and just figured I'd show you this one. So it's kind of that, again, dark straw, maybe a light gold color, very hazy, opaque, can't really see through it. I'm losing the head already, so it doesn't look very good. All right, anyway, let's take a sniff of the aroma. So it's weird. I'm getting banana clove, like if it was a Hefeweizen. Now, it is a Weizenbach, so it is a wheat beer. Whether they're using a Hefeweizen yeast strain, it's very possible. Weihenstephaner, I think, makes a nice yeast strain that they use all the time. I'm getting clove and I'm getting banana, like I'm intaking a Weiss beer, okay, or Hefeweizen. The head, though, is not very good. We're already losing it. Okay, light toast on the malt also. But again, if I had my eyes closed or I was blindfolded, I would say I'm taking in a Hefeweizen, a Weiss beer. And again, being a Weizenbach, okay, that's probably maybe what they're trying to achieve here. Okay, be at a Hefeweizen aromatics. You know, the clove, remember, is the 4-vinyl guaiacol compound that gives you the clove, which are the phenols, and isoamine acetate for the banana character, because it's kind of like ripe bananas. Other than that, it smells pretty good. Again, like I said, it smells like a Hefeweizen. All right, guys, Prost. Again, I remember I'm getting right into these right away instead of doing my longer version. Listen, what's funny is on the taste buds, I get like a bubblegum character, which in classic Hefeweizens, some people will perceive that. Many times I don't. I'm getting it here. So I'm getting like probably some banana, clove, and this bubblegum character on the taste. Low bitterness. No alcohol, warm, pretty highly carbonated, which you expect, which again, I was expecting to get a little more frothing up here on the head. I almost thought I should have pulled out my Hefeweizen glass, my Weissbier glass, I should call it, okay, that has, very tall. You've seen me on my videos, and look that up. If you're really interested in this stuff and you're more of a beer geek, look under my What Is style. It's funny. It's pretty thin on the palate. The body's kind of low to medium. Still getting a bubblegum, light toast character. Most of this is brewed with 60% wheat, but listen, it's pretty good. I just find that, it needs to have a little bit more probably of the chewiness from the wheat and stuff like that. The body on it, like I said, it's kind of light to medium body, even though it's at 7.1% alcohol. It feels kind of thin. Many wheat beers that I have, and wheat beers in Germany usually have to be at least 60%. I think minimum 50% wheat, and then Pilsner malt. Many of them are at 60, 70%. I usually get a little more billowiness, if that's such a word, on my palate, which I'm not getting here. There may be a little bit of malt shift too, because I am getting a little bit of a honey caramel flavor, but I really got to analyze it, to pick that up. So it's really not drinking that bad. I got to be honest with you. This pack thus far, there's been a couple that have been oxidized, not the greatest. This one, is trying to kind of drinking like a Weissbier, maybe a little bit of malt shift. Nothing over the top as far as like papery trans 2 nonenal. Their expiration date, they actually have an expiration date that says 2025, which obviously I'm filming this in 2023. That's quite forecasted down the road. So, again, another beer that's not too bad with this Lidl group. I'm not going to say this is going to put the Weizenbachs out of business from the big boys in Germany. But part of the 12-pack compilation from this Kalia that's contracting these microbreweries, this one's really not too bad, guys, again. Okay? Maybe a little bit of malt shift, meaning that's slightly oxidized or getting a little bit on the older end of things. But you have the banana, you have the clove, and you have a little chewiness there off the wheat, but, I wish it was a little bit more. And, I said light to medium body. It's probably more medium bodied because I'm getting a little bit of warmth right now. And when I took that last sip, it's kind of sitting there, but it's really not too bad. This pack is actually surprising me. Other than there was one that had definitely papery flavors and taste to it that was definitely oxidized. The other one so far, at least the filming of this segment, is, even though you're going to be maybe watching a full video, really not that bad, I got to say. Again, it's not going to put the big boys in Germany out of business, but again, obviously a lighter style Weizenbach. And that's it. So anyway, guys, I want to keep this as short as possible because I'm putting it in a compilation here. Till the next beer video or series or whatever I may do next, talk to you soon. But maybe on the end of this, stay tuned. There may be another video coming up here in a second. All right, bye-bye.